Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to improve your skills, your pace, your consistency over a whole package or a racing track. You can use these lessons on any track of your choice, generally any car, any game of your choice as well. But today I'm going to be focusing on F1 23. And what I'm going to be doing is starting from a blank canvas around Canada. Although I've done plenty of laps around Canada on previous Formula 1 games, I haven't done that many laps around Canada on F1 23. You can see I don't even have a lap time set on the leaderboard for the world. So that shows how inexperienced I am with the F1 23 car around Canada. But I have to say I have done plenty of laps in Canada in my life, on previous games, on other simulators as well, so I am well experienced with the layout of Canada, but today I'm going to be focusing on how I extrapolate maximum performance from the F1 23 car around this fantastic track. So the first thing I'm going to be looking to do is go around the lap, even if I'm not pushing on the first lap, to basically understand where the curvings are, where the braking zones can be, and then start to build up a process in my mind of where the grip can be, what curves can be used, and what curves can't be used. So I already know that the final chicane here at Canada, we can really aggressively throw the car over the curb, gaining a lot of lap time and distance because of that. Going into lap 2, you can see, okay, I went a bit deep into turn 1 there, a bit deeper into turn 2. So what does that tell me? I need to brake a bit earlier in my process. I need to just carry a bit less speed into the apex, and that will help me set up the second apex or the first sequence of corners that bit better. Going into the end of the first sector, again, I've just broken, to be honest, about 5 meters too late. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when driving on the limit, it can be quite substantial to time loss or time gain if you get it right. So you can see generally, around this lap so far, I'm just braking a little bit too late by a few meters every corner. And this is mean I'm just going a little bit wide. That was pretty good on the braking until I got to the apex. So now coming down to the final chicane for what will be my first full pace lap around Canada. You can see going over that inside curve again, need to be a bit more committed than that. But you can see we gain a second and a half already. And I'm going to be breaking down my structure and my plan and what I'm thinking about right now. So I already know that I've been braking slightly too late into these apexes now. So my plan of action is going to be, okay, next lap I want to brake a little bit earlier, a bit fractionally earlier by 5 meters every braking zone, apart from the hairpin, because the hairpin was pretty good. So every turn, apart from the hairpin, I'm going to be braking about 5 meters earlier, carrying a bit less initial speed into the apex, but will be gaining substantial speed on the exit of the corner as a net result of that, with the hopes of overall lap time being faster by the better exit compromised by the slower entries. So you can see now we are going to be coming up to the second lap, and I'm going to be commentating a bit less on this lap. I'm going to be focusing a bit more, but you're going to be able to see my process live in action, how it unfolds. That was a bit better there, a bit too deep still. Massively better finish game. You can see braking earlier now and having the car under more control in the apex is working. So yeah, it's definitely paying off to be braking a little bit earlier now. Okay, that didn't work. Got a bit too excited on the brake pedal. Make a note of that for next lap. Pretty good fun of chicane. Note of it, I'm going to try put the brake bias back by 1% this lap. and that helps significantly with the rotation for the first apexes. Right, brake a bit earlier at the hairpin this lap. Try connect with the apex a bit more efficiently. That was a lot better this lap. See what we can do in the final chicane. Last lap we went a little bit deep. Still wasn't ideal. So now we have got into the 0.8 on the overall lap time, what puts us 131st on the leaderboard within 5 laps of driving the track while doing a live commentary. So I'd say that's fairly successful as an initial learning process and developing our skills on this track. We have literally been recording for less than 8 minutes. This is a great thing that you can be doing to try and improve your skills against other people. So at the moment, Jarno Opmeer has the world record. So I can set him as my rival. I like to have the ghost disabled. And then I can exit the session. And I will be able to see his sector times as well. So I can see, okay, in the first sector compared to Jarno, I lost half a tenth. In the second sector, I lost 2 tenths, and in the final sector, I lost the majority of my time with 3 tenths. So I can already look at this, analyze the fact that, quite simply, okay, I don't really need to change that much in the first sector. Half a tenth can just happen from getting a slightly better exit or slightly better apex connection. Sector 2, I have to find 2 tenths, so that's a bit more of a dynamic focus to try and improve on and understanding where to find that time. And then in the final sector, I need to be finding 3 tenths, what is a huge amount of time, and more than likely will be coming from that final chicane and a better exit from the hairpin. So now that has been said, we've already done what is actually 4 full flying laps. You can see our progression at the bottom from going from a 1 minute 11 to a 1 minute 9.6, a 1 minute 9.1, and a 1 minute 8.9, and already only half a second, well, fairer to say 6 tenths away from Jarno Opmeer at the moment. So I'd call that a good initial start phase. What we can start doing right now is understanding and looking at the setup and how we can also maybe slightly make it better for our own driving style. I don't like having a very loose car on the rear, so maybe I'll just put 1 click of off-road differential to bring a bit more stability into the car at the apexes. So now going on to what will be our 5th total lap. I have it in my mind that Sector 1, I don't really need to do much. I can find half a tenth, I know I can. But the real thing that I need to focus on is where is that 2 tenths in Sector 2 and where is that 3 tenths in Sector 3. More than likely in Sector 2 it will be down to corner exits out of the first initial chicane that starts Sector 2. And probably the second chicane in Sector 2, I don't need to find that much time, as it seemed pretty good already before. But definitely an alteration of racing line can be beneficial, so we'll look to try that out and find the lap time naturally because of that. And the 3 tenths, I can imagine a tenth will be coming out of the hairpin, and then probably 2 tenths in that chicane by absolutely nailing it. Again, the key thing in this situation is to be breaking it down into manageable bite-sized information for you at home that you can extrapolate that information yourself and look to break it down to informations that you can improve on and become more dynamic with. If you simply look at a task and go, okay, he's 6 tenths ahead, then it's going to be really difficult for you to sort of think about where is that 6 tenths and how can you break it down. Whereas breaking it down into bite-sized, manageable pieces of information, then you can start to learn, progress, and become more dynamic with that information. If I just looked at it like, oh, it's 6 tenths, then I would start overdriving and looking in the wrong areas to try and find that time. Simply because I know that I'm on the pace in Sector 1, I don't need to worry about that. I need to put my focus towards Sector 2 and Sector 3 on this lap. But now coming on to what will be our 5th total lap here in Canada, time trial. matched our delta, turn 1. So we have found that half a tenth in sector 1 already. Slightly better exit, so we found a quarter of that 2 tenths already. Not the greatest exit, but considering how bad the exit was, it was normal to lose about a tenth there. Okay, so what I learned in that hairpin was second gear is not really beneficial and did not seem to be that good. It didn't gain me time, only lost me time. And we just tried sending chicane. We wanted to see where the track limits could be, but was not at all useful as we invalidated completely. So now going on to what will be my final lap here in Canada as a demonstration for you how I can improve in a certain amount of laps. That's the world record, sector 1, I think. So it was up on Yano through sector 1. Made a bit of a hash of the chicane, and it doesn't seem to be that beneficial to be using the curb on the inside. And again, net neutral through the hairpin. Didn't really gain, didn't really lose anything. So third gear seems to be the optimal choice. I just need to make my racing line a bit better there in the future. Through the final chicane, gained a lot. So how much potential is in that final chicane is absolutely mind-blowing. So we was only doing a handful of laps here in Canada as a demonstration for you on how I look for stuff, how I try to improve myself, and of course we have the luxury of having Yano as a benchmark on the leaderboard. We all know how fantastic and how fast Yano is as well. So that is always a great tip I can have for you at home, is try and benchmark yourself against really fantastic, excellent drivers, and that can help highlight your strengths and weaknesses around a lap of a certain track. For example, my strength clearly is I'm already quite fast in sector 1, but I have a lot of work to be doing in sector 2 and sector 3. So comparing the two before, as we can end the session, we can basically see that already in sector 1 we're able to go even a little bit faster than Yano. In sector 2 we're still 2 tenths away, and in sector 3 I should say, we're still 2 tenths away. I know that a tenth of that can come from their hairpin, and another tenth will just come from doing the chicane slightly better, but this is the process that I work through on a short time basis to try and improve myself as fast as possible over a given circumstance and a given track. For this example is Canada. Like I say, I know Canada like the back of my hand from previous Formula 1 games and driving on like iRacing, whatever, but driving it with the F123 cars I'm not massively experienced on, so it was a helpful and, to be honest look at what I try to do and how I can improve for you as well. So my key takeaways for this video is going to be analyze your braking points. If you're going deep through a corner, bring it back by 5 meters and then you can carry more minimum speed through the apex. Look always for good exits, and also do not be afraid to compare yourself against your rival ghosts, and use the EA and F1 website where you can have exact live comparison on telemetry. So as we just alluded to with the RaceNet telemetry tool, we can actually have a website made by F1 and EA as well that allows me to do a direct comparison telemetry to any driver that I want to pick on the leaderboard. How it works is quite simple. You pick your delta for the track, Canada, Bahrain, any track on the F1 game. For this instance, we're going to be using Canada as this is the track that I was practicing. We can also then go and pick any driver. For this example, we have used Yano, as Yano is the world record holder on Canada. If we press sync on our lap times, and it will show us a direct comparison of racing lines inputs as well going through the corners. The red bar is highlighting where we currently are on the track and will be allowing us to see the exact comparisons. As we're coming up to the second chicane here in Canada, you can see that Jarno marginally has slightly better advantage compared to me going into the corner. Where we're able to make up our time is actually on the exit of the corner, and we're able to creep ahead by the end of the first sector mark by 16 thousandths of a second. Once we get to the apex, Jarno does a much better job, and a very phenomenal job as well, of carrying speed for the first apex and carrying that speed equally onto the straight. Another feature that Jarno does that I'm learning from for next time that I drive in Canada, he does a better distance on the straight, shorting in the straight as well. That allows him to basically travel less meters over the lap and actually gaining lap time because of that. Going into the second chicane, you can see that Jarno is marginally wider on the turn-in, and that allows him a better and straighter approach coming out of the chicane and allows him to dominate on the exit as well, gaining even more lap time. Another feature is he does a shorter line between the two corners, again gaining some meters as a net result. So this is the telemetry tool, and a very handy and useful tool generated by Formula 1 and EA themselves. Something that I'm a big fan of being able to improve, and this is one of the most useful and intuitive tools that you can use at your disposal, for it's completely free as long as you own the F1 game. So that being said, I'm going to post a link to this website in the description of the video so you can use it yourself and compare against your friends, league racers, F1 esports drivers, whoever you like. As long as they're on the leaderboard, you can compare to them. With all of that being said, I want to say a big thank you for watching. Hopefully you found my process and how I improve in the detailed analytic ability to understand apexes, cornering speed, when to brake earlier, when to be on the brakes later as well, and what lines I can improve on from learning from other drivers equally has been useful to you at home and you have enjoyed the video. With that being said, I am Brendon Leigh. Thank you so much for watching and I appreciate your time. I will catch you in the next video. Grazie, ciao ciao, bye bye.